What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all enjoying your Sunday and you're having a fantastic weekend so far. This is NYG Jeffy T85 here, and I am talking about to you NFL free agency. We all know about NFL free agency. The day during the NFL offseason when you start seeing teams going out there spending a whole lot of money on some of the top players that are going to be entering the free agent market as we get close to the NFL, NFL draft that'll be upcoming as well. And the Giants, right now, they have around $14 plus million in cap space, but that is expected to increase with extensions, with restructures, with other maybe potential releases on the horizon. So, the Giants are going to be at least $14 million plus in free agency, in terms of free agent money to play with this offseason. Obviously, we know some of the moves that the Giants have already made. The Giants were going in with about a few exclusive rights free agents. They had 21 free agents, unrestricted, and they have a restricted free agent in Henry Mondell. Now, obviously we know about the deal that happened with Saquon Barkley, who got franchise tagged, and Daniel Jones, who got that 4-year, $160 million deal. So they're off the table. So you could take them out of the equation. Obviously, the Giants had the restricted or the exclusive rights free agents that were signed. Again, tight end Lawrence Cager, guard Jack Anderson, and wide receiver Isaiah Hodgins. So you scratch those 5 guys off the list. So now their 21 free agents have cut down to 16. And in terms of those 16 free agents right now for the New York Giants, of the players, you have wide receivers Sterling Shepard, Richie James, Marcus Johnson, and Darius Slayton. You have safeties Tony Jefferson and Julian Love. You have outside linebackers Jahad Ward and O'Shane Zimenez. You have defensive linemen Justin Ellis and Nick Williams. You have restricted free agent Henry Mondo as well. You have offensive linemen Nick Gates and John Feliciano. You have punter Jamie Gillen. And you have, as well, long snapper Casey Kreider, running back Matt Breida, just to name a few, and cornerback Fabian Moreau. The Giants are going to be going to this offseason, obviously, with some needs and some positions that they're looking to fill. And at least it might sound like the Giants are going to be looking to be a little bit more aggressive in free agency than they were last year. And according to U Stadium, spoke with the agent of a few of the top free agents in the market, and they said the team that has been the most aggressive so far has been the New York Football Giants, as they look to want to spend early and often. Now, I personally don't know how I feel about that, because as we know with the New York Giants in previous years, when this team spent a lot of money in the offseason, it didn't exactly result in a lot of great things for this football team in those prior years. While it might have looked good originally, either it tanked out in the second year or it didn't even get off the runway in the first year. So I personally don't know how I feel about this team spending a whole lot of money early on in free agency, but if that's what they want to do, then that's so be it. Now, in terms of what the positions that the Giants are going to be targeting in NFL free agency, some of the best free agent linebackers that the Giants are going to be looking to, some of the positions that the Giants are going to look to target is linebacker. It sounds like that the linebacker position is going to be the number one position the Giants are going to target in free agency. And you got players like Levante David, Tremaine Edmonds, David Long, TJ Edwards, Leighton Vander Esch, Bobby Okereke, Jermaine Pratt, Drew Tranquil, Alexander Singleton, and Kaiser White, just to name a few, that are going to be the top level free agents at the linebacker position overall. Obviously, we know that Wink Martindale was just re-signed was just kept by the Giants as the defensive coordinator after he couldn't land the head coaching job with the Indianapolis Colts. And as we all know, before we even start, the NFL legal tampering period begins on Monday. So might start hearing some contracts and some negotiating happening. You could even hear some players that agree to contracts as early as tomorrow, but they obviously can't become official until 4 p.m. on Wednesday, March 15th. That's when you could officially have these contracts locked up. But obviously the Giants, it sounds like that they want to spend money, and they want to spend money early and often. Tremaine Edmunds is the big fish right now in terms of free agency. He's still young, about 26 years old. He had a terrific in coverage overall in 2022. He had over 100 tackles last year and 86.9 coverage grade overall. He is the cream of the crop in terms of linebackers in free agency. He's probably going to command about $17-18 million per season. Would the Giants be willing to spend that kind of money on a player like Edmunds when you have other positions that you need to take care of? As well as you have other players. Levante David, the long-time Tampa Bay Buccaneers linebacker who won a Super Bowl back in 2020. 88.5 coverage grade. And he had a 93 mark over the past few seasons in terms of being a coverage linebacker, which is elite in the league, but he is up there in age. He's 30 plus years old now. Would the Giants be willing to take a chance on a linebacker that's getting up there in age? Or you have somebody like David Long, the Tennessee Titans linebacker, who had an 89 run grade average overall. Would you take a chance on him? TJ Edwards, who has been undrafted free agent by the Philadelphia Eagles all the way back in 2018. So it's another guy you think about maybe taking a chance on. He had a terrific year this year. He had the second best run grade overall in terms of off-ball linebackers at 84.4. How much is he going to command in free agency? Leighton Vander Esch, if you think this guy could finally be healthy, is that a guy you potentially target? How about younger players like Bobby Okereke and Jermaine Pratt? Might not be able to get or even Drew Tranquil. Pratt of the Bengals, Okereke of the Colts, and Tranquil of the Chargers. Might not be getting the fanfare of some of these other top-level linebackers, but still quality players nonetheless. Or an Alexander Singleton from the Broncos, another guy. Kaiser White, the other Philadelphia Eagles linebacker. An Alex Anzalone. Or a Denzel Perryman from Las Vegas. A lot of linebackers out there that the Giants could be interested in potentially looking at and adding to their linebacker core, because it was a major problem with this team in the middle of their defense, and they are obviously looking to try and see if they can upgrade that linebacker core going forward. Then you look at the wide receiver position, which is another position the Giants are going to be looking to potentially target in free agency. It's not that strong of a group at all. You look at guys like Jacoby Myers, who is right now the top of the level free agent in free agency. He's coming from the New England Patriots. He's looking to maybe get about 17, 18 million per season. 6'2", 200-pound wide receiver, mostly plays in the slot, and he had a 63.2 contested catch rate, which was top 5 in the NFL amongst the wide receivers in that span since he came into the NFL. He also had a 3.1 drop rate, which ranks 9th amongst qualifying wide receivers. That's a lot of drops for a wide receiver. You don't want to have that. Obviously, Juju Smith-Schuster was another wide receiver that the Giants that could be a big-time free agent in offseason. Also, of course, we all know about Odell Beckham Jr. He recently just had a workout this past Friday for NFL teams to show how far he is in terms of his recovery coming back from injury. Then you have lower guys like DJ Chark, Alan Lazard, Paris Campbell, to name a few. Mecole Hardman is another one. These are the lower-level wide receivers that are also going to be guys to potentially target in free agency. Chark from the Lions, Campbell from the Colts, Lazard from the Packers, as well as, Juju, of course, and Hardman from the Chiefs as well. Those are some of the wide receivers that are going to be interesting the Giants could target. Another position, the interior offensive line group. Giants obviously need some help in the interior offensive line, but how much are they willing to spend? Or are they going to be willing to go into the NFL draft to pretty much figure out that issue? Got guys like Isaac Seumalo from the Eagles, Ben Powers from the Ravens, Dalton Reisner from the Broncos, Nate Davis of the Titans, Ethan Pocic from the Browns, backup center, Connor McGovern from the Jets, Will Hernandez from the Cardinals. We already went that way. Garrett Bradbury of the Vikings, just to name a few. Is that a position that the Giants are going to be looking to add on in terms of a veteran center in the interior offensive line? There's another position the Giants could be interested in. As well as I believe that they need at least another cornerback in free agency. Some of the top-rated cornerbacks right now in free agency. You got Jamel Dean of Tampa Bay. You got James Bradbury, former New York Giant, who's going to be hitting the free agent market. Cameron Sutton of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I made a video about him recently. Jonathan Jones, top-rated free agent from the New England Patriots. Patrick Peterson, getting up there in age, though. He's in his mid-30s now. Rock Ya-Sin from the Las Vegas Raiders. Byron Murphy, another young cornerback that's looking to cash in from the Arizona Cardinals. And Marcus Peters, whom obviously we know is linked to Wink Martindale because of his ties with the Baltimore Ravens. That's another position. The Giants might look to get a veteran cornerback on the outside to pair with Adoree Jackson. And then obviously the edge position. That's another position the Giants could look to go target. Marcus Davenport, the young defensive end / outside linebacker from the New Orleans Saints. Didn't have a great year last year, but he's one of the top-rated young guys from the defensive end position, 26 years old. Jadeveon Clowney, approaching his age 30 season. Charles Imuhu from San Francisco. Arden Key from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Sam Ekubam, or Ibukam from the San Francisco 49ers. Egubonkion Okorikwo from the Houston Texans, another one. Yannick Ngakoue. Brandon Duran, but he signed a free agent contract with the Eagles. He's going back there. Melvin Ingram, the veteran outside linebacker from the Dolphins. Justin Houston, the veteran outside linebacker from the Ravens. Kyle Van Noy, the veteran outside linebacker from the Chargers. A lot of guys out there that the Giants could potentially look at in terms of veteran defensive help. And if you want to add another pass rusher. And then I'm going to talk about the Giants free agents, their own free agents. Out of the free agents that the Giants have right now that they could look to bring back, obviously Barkley is back on the franchise tag, and obviously Jones is back on a long-term deal. Out of the free agents right now, I've heard rumors about the Giants and Julian Love ramping up contract negotiations. It looks like they want to be able to sign Julian Love back before he hits free agency. Then you have guys like Sterling Shepard, the longest tenured Giant. Are the Giants going to want to bring back Shepard on a very, very reduced deal, him coming off an ACL injury? Maybe bring him back as part of the fold, see how he's recovering. Another guy, Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton could also be a guy that the Giants could be looking to bring back as a veteran offensive lineman, or veteran wide receiver to bring back. We'll have to wait and see. Also, Nick Gates. I've heard about rumors about Nick Gates potentially wanting to coming back to the New York Giants, as well as John Feliciano, two veteran offensive linemen that you could bring in as depth. If you don't want to have them being the starting center, you can go into the NFL draft next month and be able to sign or be able to draft your future offensive lineman at that position. Would you bring back a veteran corner like Fabian Moreau, who did a solid job on the outside for the Giants during 2022? How about outside linebacker Jahide Ward? Knows obviously Wink Martindale's defensive system. Would you bring him back as a rotational piece in the outside linebacker position? How about Richie James? The great job that he did in the slot when Kenny Golladay was ineffective. Sterling Shepard and Wan'Dale Robinson went down with ACL injuries, and Kadarius Toney got traded during the beginning of the season. Would you bring back a guy like Richie James on a reduced deal? Deserves another deal, but we'll have to wait and see if the Giants are going to be willing to pay up the type of money for Richie James. There's going to be a lot of quality players that the Giants might look to bring back in NFL free agency. We all know tampering period begins on Monday, and you're probably going to start hearing deals being agreed upon with the New York Giants and with other teams in terms of trying to make a big splash and at least Early reports are the Giants might be looking to be aggressive early and often in NFL free agency. The question is, how aggressive are the Giants going to look to be in free agency when the free agent period starts? That's going to be the biggest question. Like I said, this team right now, after the deals they made with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, Giants only have about 14 available cap space. So, $14 million in available cap space at the moment. The question is, how much, or they have $18.4 million in cap space right now. How much more money are they going to be able to try to put together before free agency in terms of restructures and everything? What players are going to be targeting in free agency? What positions are they going to be targeting in free agency? Are they going to be big spenders? Are they going to be looking at the second tier guys? What's their price for certain players in terms of their own free agents? All these questions are going to be answered within the next few days as NFL free agency really ramps up. And I'm curious to see what Joe Schoen is going to do. He even mentioned in his press conference at the Combine, he's not going to be a guy that's going to be bargain basement hunting anymore. He's not going to be shopping at he's not going to be shopping at the lower level market. He's going to want to try to spend a little bit more in free agency to get himself some quality players on this football team. Now that he has the money available because of the Daniel Jones contract and of course Saquon Barkley getting tagged. And obviously they're going to try to reduce his contract over the next couple of years. Free agency is going to be wild. Free agency is going to be crazy. Don't even forget about NFL trades that could be happening too. As we all know, we heard about the big NFL trade that happened on Friday with the Carolina Panthers jumping all the way up to number 1 in the NFL draft and trading away multiple first-round picks, multiple second-round picks, and trading away DJ Moore to the Chicago Bears in order to get that number 1 pick. That could just be a taste of things to come in NFL free agency. As we all know, teams are going to potentially overspend for certain players they think they're going to put them over the top. What is Joe Schoen going to do in free agency? What kind of trades is he going to be looking to make? Free agency, NFL is going to be nuts over these next couple of months with free agency and obviously the NFL draft next month. But first, let's see what Joe Schoen is up his sleeves. Either way, I trust in Shane. I trust in Dayball. I trust in Brandon Brown to go out there and make the right moves to help improve this New York Giants team. And with more money to play with this offseason compared to last offseason, I expect the Giants to make some moves out there in free agency, including bringing back some of their own and bringing in some reinforcements to help take this Giants team to the next level from where they were last season. So if you guys like this video, hit the like button below and give a sub to NYGJeffyT85 for more news updates and chatter surrounding the New York Giants. Turn on that bell for notifications on the next video or short dropping on the channel surrounding the New York Giants. And you guys let me know in the comment section, what players in free agency are you hoping the Giants will target? What positions you guys are hoping the Giants will target? And your outlook for NFL free agency and the tampering period that starts on Monday, and NFL free agency in the league year that will begin on Wednesday, March 15th, starting at 4 p.m. when deals, trades, free agent contracts, everything can become official on March 15th at 4 p.m. It's going to be a wild and crazy past next couple of weeks and next couple of months in the NFL, and I have no doubt Joe Schoen and the New York Giants will be wrapped up in the middle of a free agent frenzy and trade stuff that is going to be happening with this organization. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Take it easy, and let's go New York Football Giants. As always, together blue, everyone.